Mayad nga agahon, coming to you live from Numancia, Aklan, in Western Visayas in the Philippines. I'm having my morning cup of coffee here, my coffee with Gino cup, my Copico Blanca. I'm gonna look for my Copico Blanca. Oh, there it is. I have a sachet here. I have a sachet here of my Copico Blanca. 3-in-1 coffee here in the Philippines. Coffee, cream, and sugar. Powder form. You just put the powder in your cup, put a hot water, and you have a nice cup of coffee. Very inexpensive here in the Philippines. This one is, for me, it's 8 pesos each. I can buy 10 of these for 80 pesos. So that's about $1.50 for 10 cups of coffee. Panay Pasta in the house. All right. Good morning, Vaughn. Good morning, Vaughn. Kevin Shores. Hey, good morning, Kevin Shores. Thank you for joining the live stream this morning. Bill, hey, Bill Meyer, good morning. Prayers to you, my brother. Again, I'll always start with the weather, and we've been getting a lot of rain here in the start of the year here, the start of the new year. On the Windy app, I don't see any no storm, no low pressure area, nothing at all. Like not even developing outside the PAR, outside the Philippine area of responsibility. So we're just getting rain. Maybe it's still remnants of the wet season here. It says here Visayas, Northern Luzon, Metro Manila, Mindanao, pretty much the whole country. It says here cloudy skies with scattered rains and thunderstorms. Possible flash floods or landslides due to heavy rain. And sure enough, yesterday, man, we got some rain yesterday. When I picked up my good friend Joel from Arizona and his brother from San Diego, I picked them up at Boracay Airport yesterday. Man, on the way home from Katiklan, I knew it was gonna be sketchy because there was just a lot of rain, and there was areas in Nabas, Ibahay, Tangalan, Makato, even here in Numancia, and even Calibo. All the different towns, unfortunately, on the main highway, if you're in the main highway, there's just areas that get flooded easy. My tiny Toyota Wigo, man, there was like areas where it was sketchy. I was looking at the water. I had actually stopped at the middle of the highway, and I would watch as people would like drive their car, buses, motorbikes. One area, I had to get behind a bus because I was riding the weight. He's cutting through the water, and I was right behind him. Really sketchy. I do not like driving in the rain here. If not for picking up my friend, I would have never left the house with that much rain. But I already committed to him. I already committed to them. I didn't want them to arrive at the airport and I'm not there. I wouldn't leave a man down. I wouldn't leave a man down. So I was like, man, but it was sketchy. Even when we got to Calibo, there was like areas in Calibo. I thought once we got to Calibo, because we were gonna drop Chris, my friend's brother Chris, at La Casa Española. I thought we were in the clear, man. I saw Calibo. I was like, man, even Calibo, there's areas flooded on the way to La Casa Española. I was like, man. It was, but we made it safely. Chris is all tucked in at La Casa Española. He actually met JP because they were checking in. They were Chris's room, and also Joel actually got a room at La Casa Española too, because there was supposed to be a couple coming with them, but they canceled last minute. But Joel decided to get the room anyway. So 2 rooms down there on the bottom floor, and JP just happened to I saw, hey, that's JP. Then I introduced them to JP, and then JP actually hanged out with Chris. Went to the mall with Chris, and then I took Joel to his place in Calibo. We received a little bit of snow here this morning. 8 above 0. 8 degrees. Wow, wow, 8 degrees. Here, I think it's about 24, I think 24 degrees Celsius. So that's about 76 degrees Fahrenheit here. Vaughn, if taken one a day, that's 80 pesos per 10 days. That's cool. I know, right? That's cool. That's why I like it. And it's my favorite. I've tried many different types of 3-in-1 coffee. I settled with this one because it's the best one for me anyway. Different people, some people like their coffee black. I'm done with black coffee after I got out of the military. It's like I'm not drinking black coffee anymore. But some people there's like different types of, even Copico's got like several flavors. And then, man, there's at least, I would say, 60 brands of 3-in-1 coffee here. Even Manny Pacquiao's got he's got a 3-in-1, Manny Pacquiao 3-in-1 coffee. Malunggay 3-in-1 coffee. I mean, they got all kinds of 3-in-1 coffee here. Good morning, Charlie Lads, my good friend in Boston. Hey, my friend Leo, he made it to the Bahamas, man. It's like he's with his family, his wife, and his 3 kids. All his kids are college graduates. They're professionals already, but they all went to the Bahamas for vacation. How's Joel and his brother? I know Joel, he was pretty tired because it's, like 24 hours traveling all total from Arizona. I dropped him off yesterday and I haven't heard from him. So I'm sure he slept. Chris, the minute he checked into La Casa Española, the thing he noticed right away is like, they provide like a toilet paper, like one toilet paper. Then he goes, man, this ain't gonna be enough. I gotta get myself some TP, So that's what he made a run to the mall with JP, him and JP. I dropped them off at the mall, right in front of Gaisano Capital. And JP was trying to get money from Remitly, but I think he sent too much money to himself, and he was having trouble getting it. I'll find out from him today what happened, but he sent himself like $2,000, and that's a big amount. $2,000. That's like about 115,000 pesos. So I was able, like my friend Joel, before he got here, he sent me $1,500 on Remitly, and I was able to get it for him. So when he arrives, he has cash right away. So 1.5 was okay, but maybe 2. I don't know the limits as far as like Remitly, but maybe it's too much money. I told JP maybe split it. Maybe send yourself $1,000 at a time. Don't send like a big chunk like that. I'll find out from JP what ended up happening. Kumusta? Hey, Lowell, kumusta? Mabuti ako, kapatid. I hope you great day. Should be a great day. I mean, it's cloudy still. We're probably gonna get rain. It rained last night. If it rains today, I'm just staying home, man, because with the flooding that happened yesterday, it won't take much for most of the rivers, creeks, even Aklan River, most of the rivers here are like full with water. So it won't take much to flood the areas right now. God bless my brother. Just saw your video of you waiting for Joel. All right, Kevin. Man, it was pouring there, man. It was like, man, I was like standing there on that the little like cover they got, man. People were getting wet. We were like wearing jacket, between the wind and the rain, that little cover wasn't doing much help. They are they had plans to build a better terminal. Right now, that little terminal where people are coming out, that's just the arrival. The 2 separate arrival departure. It's just a tiny building. And then from the sliding glass door, once you come out of there, there's no cover. There, it's like if it's pouring rain, it's like you're gonna get wet coming out. My friend was like, he found an umbrella. He's like, the security guard. If they have a little bit of parking there, but it's just such a tight area that they don't want cars coming in and out. They definitely have to improve that because during peak season, and you're averaging about 40 flights coming into Boracay Airport all day long. Lots of tourists, and it's they just got to improve it for sure. They got to do something about it. Oh, there's I see JB. I see JB. Hold on, let me go back to the comments here. One, you're sacred, Joel. Oh no, no worries, man. Joel's a good friend, man. Joel comes here every ati-atihan. I think like for me, I've met him like 4 years ago. For the last 4 years, I've been hanging out with Joel. They have a place in Calibo. Then that's funny. JP, good morning, Gino and the posse. All right, JP. Lowell, good morning, JP. I'm in Arizona. All right, man, I love Arizona. I spent my last 7 years in the United States. I spent in Tucson, Arizona. Just love my time in Arizona. I was a cyclist when I was in Arizona. I rode road bikes and I rode mountain bikes and just so many memorable races. I did the El Tour de Tucson 100-mile race in Arizona. I did different races like in Casa Grande, in Tombstone, in Bisbee, you name it. I rode all over Arizona on my bicycle. Charlie, morning, Lowell, JP. Good morning, sir. Good morning, Shekel fan. All right. Hello, Bill M, Vaughn, Lowell, Kevin. JP in the house. I know JP in the house. Everywhere I went was 50K pesos maximum. All right, 50. I'm surprised though. I mean, it is what it is. Maybe the place where you went to, JP, because I cashed in 89,000. I sent you the receipt that when I got Joel's money, because Joel wanted money right away when he got here, so he sent the money to me remitly, and I picked it up. It was 89,000 pesos. So you'll find one, JP. You'll find one location. There's several. There's like multiple locations to remittance places in Calibo. On the second chat with Remitly, they rerouted the money to Metro Bank and will be ready Monday. Oh yeah, that's probably works better, man. Metro Bank, yeah, that's the Dazzle's bank. Metro Bank on Rojas. We're the same street as Gran Gaisano, JP. Just ride a tricycle. It's quite a walk from La Casa. Ride a tricycle and tell them drop you off at Metro Bank. It's almost at the bridge. It's Metro Bank. That's Dazzle's bank. She's got a bank account at Metro Bank. You'll be the rain or shine. All right, man. It's a learning. Yes, everything's a learning process. Like even for me, because and you'll see like the bank, JP, like for Metro Bank, the one bank so far that I've found that will allow expats to open an account here in the Philippines with your tourist visa, with your ACR card, RCBC. So far, that's the only bank. I think BDO will also let you open, but they want you to be in Calibo for at least 6 months. They got all these rules, man. They got all these rules that, it's trial and error, unfortunately, and sometimes learning from other expats that were here that opened their accounts before. Joel and Christian are awesome dudes. All right, JP, I'm glad. I'm sure you're gonna have fun with Christian because he's gonna be right there at La Casa Española. Yeah, I could tell. Joel, I've met before. Christian, this was the first trip for Christian. I've never met him. That was the first time I met him. But Joel, I've been hanging out with Joel the last 4 years that he's come to Calibo. All right, Bicolani, thumbs love. All right, Vaughn. Soon enough, JP, you will learn how to use Gcash. Oh yes, he'll, once right now, because he doesn't have his ACR card, his Gcash account. You can open a Gcash account, but it's not verified. The Gcash that you, and it's only, I think it's only, if it's not verified, you only get like 5,000 pesos a month, and that's nothing. 5,000 pesos like $80. But once it's verified, once he gets his ACR card, we get the Gcash account verified. Over 100,000 pesos, man. We can put every month on the Gcash. I use Zoom to send to Gcash to my sister-in-law to move money. Yeah, I mean, there's several ways, several ways. Zoom, Remitly, Wise, all kinds of ways to send money to Gcash. I did the Lawman 1,000 motorcycle ride a few times. Oh, 1,000 miles. Oh, wow. Wow. In a weekend, I love all the walking I have been getting in. It's making my cats look more foggy. Hey, man. Walking's good, right? Walking's good, man. Dazzle actually told me, because, our good friend, Michael, Castaway Drift in Dumaguete City. He does a lot of video walking around Dumaguete City. Dazzle told me, well, you should do that, babe. You should walk in Calibo with. My problem is my phone. My phone, the data on it doesn't work good. But Dazzle told me, try her phone. Her phone's like an iPhone 16. Mine is an iPhone 10. And my data just doesn't work when I'm walking in Calibo. I can't live stream. So I'll try Dazzle's phone. That way you guys can see Calibo. I'll walk to like McDonald's, Jollibee, the fruit stands, the public market. I'll walk in those areas. I'll just bring an umbrella because I have to protect myself from the sun. So I have to, that's why on my picture, I always have an umbrella. When I'm outside, I always wear a hat, I always carry an umbrella to protect myself from the sun, because I have to protect myself from the sun because I've had cancer. So I guess once you have cancer, you're susceptible to like skin cancers. Then the next problem, if you expose yourself to sun. Jeffrey, good morning, Kuya Gino. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Jeffrey. Said hi. All right, JP. I have not been using my GoPro 13 yet. All right. Hey, man, you got time. Then take your time, JP. No rush. It's like, you have to start living that retired life, like I do, man. Start, taking everything easy. Do one task a day, don't overdo it. You got nothing but time. You are a funny Pinoy. All right, hey, that's better than that's better than any. Thank you for that compliment. I don't mind being called a funny Pinoy. Kevin Shores, my mom makes the best Filipino spaghetti and garlic fried rice with tocino and longanisa and sinigang soup, kare-kare. Oh man, it's amazing. Yesterday we stopped at the Broomstick Cafe, and my friend Joel and Chris, they tried the longanisa, fried rice and egg. They really enjoyed it. I think that was Chris's first silog meal. You can tell, like he said, he's never had it before. And fresh lumpia too. Oh yeah, fresh lumpia, of course. That's good. I love Filipino people. All right. Thank you. I'm glad you like Filipino people. All right. Hold on. Let me look up my topic. I always try to do a topic for let me just pull this up. And the topic today I was going to talk about, I always get my ideas. I'm on this several Facebook groups, and this one I kind of like them. I kind of like this expat group because it's called the Expats Philippines. But the thing is, there's a lot of Filipinos in there, so I kind of like it because usually when you get into some of these expat groups, they just start bashing. They either like the Philippines or dislike the Philippines. They just start bashing. But this group right here, they seem to temper their bashing just because there's Filipinos in there. You know, it's like, yeah, you know, they're careful. They're a little careful about bashing the Philippines. So I get ideas. I get ideas from on my topic, because I do like to discuss a topic every time I do a live stream. Maybe moving money in the Philippines can be a topic. I've done it before. I've actually had a video before, but I'll discuss it again, Bon. I'll come up with that again. I'll do a little bit of research. That way I have the current information, because things change here, man. You know, it's like, you know, you might be having luck using Wise or Gcash or something, but constant change here. So yeah, I have to stay on top. I don't want to give out like misinformation. So I have to do a little bit of research before I do the moving money. And most of the moving money happens in the US to move here. So definitely I have to do research. Ask JP for his experience. Ask Edgar. I see Edgar. Good morning, Edgar. I love the Philippines. I know, man. You know, it's like, what's not to love, right, Edgar? What's not to love? Emilia, what's up, Gino? I wanna be like Gino. Oh man, that's funny. Thank you, Emilio. Good morning, Edgar and Emilio from JP. So today my topic is gonna be location. Like anywhere else in the world that you live, you know, even if you live in America, you know, when you're gonna buy a house or something in America, live in America. That's what people always tell you. Location. And you know how everything's different with every individual. We all are not alike. No two people are alike. Even me and JP, even me and Edgar, even, you know, we're not the same people. You know, it's like they have different experiences in life, different wants in life. So I know there's people out there that prefer that city life, you know, prefer all the conveniences, the SNR, the condominium living. You know, some people prefer like the more rural, you know, up in the mountains, you know, close to the beach, you know. We're all different. So I'll say location, just because that's the key, I think, for a soft landing in the Philippines. For you to start enjoying the Philippines, your location's gonna be it's gonna be huge for you. And I got the idea from this one post. I'm gonna read you the guy's post here. That way you have he says here, I moved here 3 weeks ago. I'm genuinely trying to understand this. He says, it seems like a large percentage of foreigners who move to the Philippines do so because they survive on a pension, Social Security, or a few $1,000s a month. But if you're not wealthy, the reality here can be pretty brutal. Let's be honest about the downsides first. So this guy's only been here 3 weeks, and he's listing all the downsides already of the Philippines. He says here, infrastructure is weak, power issues, flooding, traffic, unreliable utilities, costs that are higher than most, heat and humidity are extreme most of the year, healthcare is uneven, food is not cheap. So you can tell from his post, after being here 3 weeks, that's his post. And of course, of all places to go in the Philippines, he selects Quezon City in Manila. To me, that is his big mistake already. I've always told people on my channel, I've always spoken on the live stream here, if you're gonna retire here in the Philippines, man, don't pick Manila. Even Cebu City. I know people go to Cebu City. I know people, you know, man, if you're gonna pick a city here in the Philippines, please select Iloilo City. Iloilo City is way better soft landing in the Philippines than Manila or Quezon City, because you're just gonna have a bad experience with the Philippines if you select Manila. The traffic in Manila is horrible. Fortune just told me they're about to close EDSA. EDSA is like the major thoroughfare in Manila. They're gonna close it for like several months. That's gonna be insane traffic that's gonna happen in Manila because of them closing EDSA, because they have to do, they have to fix something, or I don't know what the whole story about uh, about EDSA. But to me, like, that's why I said, like, I've had a friend. He's been here over a year now. His name's Fred. He's in Iloilo now. He was gonna land in Manila. That was his plan. Was like, before I talked him out of it. He was gonna land in Manila. He was just gonna go for it. Like, start wandering around Manila, trying to figure it out. That's the worst place for a soft landing in the Philippines. You cannot pick a more worse place than Manila. Now, if you're in BGC, I can see, you might be okay. If you're in BGC, the bubble inside Manila, you would be okay. But that's not for the budget retiree. That's not for somebody in Social Security. You cannot afford BGC or Bonifacio Global City, or that area where Fortune works in Makati. You're not gonna afford that area on Social Security alone. Might as well live in Los Angeles. That's how expensive BGC can be. But I think that was his biggest mistake. Now, his biggest mistake was like, he didn't do enough research about the Philippines. If you select Manila, if you come to the Philippines and you select Manila, obviously you didn't do your research, you didn't watch enough videos of the Philippines. A mistake, because there's just so many places where you can enjoy the Philippines. You've seen Dumaguete City. Dumaguete City is nice, affordable for retirees. Iloilo is an affordable city. Calibo is a good town. It's not a city, but good town, affordable town. Many places in the Philippines. The worst you can do is land in Manila, and that's your pick. Like I said, location. Good morning, Eddie. Okay, Kevin Shores. The reason my mom makes Filipino food is because my mom is Filipino and I'm half Filipino American too. All right, man. I'm sure you appreciate your mom cooking Filipino food, right? Because once you get, you're half Filipino, but man, if once you get a taste of good Filipino cooking, man, you're gonna fall in love with Filipino cooking. I want to be like Gino too, except a little shorter, Derek, aloha, hey, aloha, my brother from Hawaii. Martin Banks, he should have thought of that before he moved there. I think it was just he didn't do his research, Martin, because if you pick Manila as your landing spot in the Philippines, you definitely did do your research. Obviously, he didn't know what he was getting himself into in Manila. Good AM, Gino fam. Hey, Fortune, the Panay Pasi. All right, Fortune. Good morning, Fortune. Aloha, Derek. Nikolai, traffic on EDSA is no laughing matter. I know, right? Man, you can get stuck in hours. 1-2 hours is not uncommon to be stuck in traffic in EDSA, man. And now they're gonna close it. From what Fortune's telling me, they're gonna close EDSA. So where is all that traffic gonna go in Manila? It's gonna go, everywhere else is gonna be crazy because of that. Ilo City is very nice, but it's a big city, so not really what I'm looking for. Yes, Edgar, the thing with Iloilo City, the way that I recommend it to people, because I know there's people, Edgar, that prefer the city. They can't handle the province. They can't handle rural areas like Numancia or even Calibo. They're looking for SNR. They're looking for a SM Mall, a Robinson's Mall. We don't have that here in Calibo. So that's the only reason I recommend me. It's like I've experienced living in Iloilo. I lived there for 4 months, Dazzle and I. But for me, it's still, for my budget, for my frugal living, it's still pricier. Rent's gonna be more in Iloilo City than Calibo. Your grocery prices, everything is about 25 to 30% more. You spend more money living in the city than living in the rural places. But I do know there's people that prefer that, and I can't blame them. You know, I got friends there, Ivan's there, Gerard's there, Fred's there, because they like SNR. They like having Vikings. They like having, you know, they like American food. You know, Burger King. You know, Kentucky Fried Chicken. You know, stuff that we don't have here in Calibo. Unfortunately, we don't have that stuff here. Kevin Shores, hello Fortune, hello JP. Evidently, he don't watch your channel. I know. But I do like I like going through like the expat groups because you know, I'm amazed. You know, I'm amazed. Like, you know, you got these guys. You know, been here 3 weeks and it's already judging the Philippines. And to me, even if you're here like a year, if you didn't like the place where you initially landed in the Philippines, don't go back to the US or leave the country. Try another place. You know, no two places in the Philippines is going to be the same. Maybe the place that you picked just didn't fit you. You know, maybe there's so many, and there's a wide range of places here in the Philippines. There's something for everybody. Like me, my first 18 months in the Philippines was in Boracay Island. I know many people won't like, you know, people tell me, well, I'm not a beach person. I don't really enjoy the beach, you know. They won't like Boracay because that's all Boracay is. But if you're a beach person, you're going to love Boracay. You know, it's just, we're all different. We're all looking for different things. But I think the Philippines has that for everybody. You know, if you're looking for a beach, you got Boracay Island. If you're looking for a more party city, you know, Angeles City, you know, that's like Sin City here in the Philippines. Dumaguete City is a little bit party city too because a lot of expats there, a lot of bars. My good friend Jamal, he's having a blast. He's having a blast in Dumaguete City. You know, there's something for everyone here. You just have to do your research. You can't just like get on a plane, land in Manila, and they say, "Oh man, I don't like the Philippines." You know, the minute you land in Manila. Jeffrey, expect heavy traffic in EDSA. Oh, that's not even a joke, right, Jeffrey? Because like even before that construction at EDSA or closing down EDSA, it's already traffic there. So I couldn't even imagine the chaos that's going to create in Manila. Because if you can't use EDSA, you got to find other detours in Manila, which are crowded as it is already. And he'll take advice from an expert. Yin Yang, hi Gino, I'm Kim. Oh, all right, Kim. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you, Kim. Calibo been small but big enough that it has a hospital and mall makes it more my size. Definitely, and that hospital, Edgar, the Asia Pacific Medical Center, it only opened 2 years ago. So it's been a blessing that big hospital opened. Because before that hospital opened, I wasn't really recommending Calibo to many people because that was the one thing lacking in Calibo was a good hospital. And before Asia Pacific Medical Center, if you look back on all my videos, I wasn't really recommending Calibo as a destination because I was worried about the medical here. I don't want guys to come here and all of a sudden find out that the medical is subpar here, you know. So, but now with Asia Pacific Medical Center, man, it's like top of the line hospital, top of the line dentistry there. That's where I go for my dentist now. Hello, Fortune, GP, all right. What is the name of that battery you use for your wife? Something blue. Blue Yeti. I think it's an American brand. It's blue, spell it blue, TTI, Blue Yeti. Yeah, so I think that's how I've heard it pronounced. It's Blue Yeti. I got my phone hooked up to it now because my phone, the battery on this phone, because it's an iPhone 10, I think it needs a new battery, but haven't found a place that would replace the battery on it. So I always just, it has to need charge. I have to charge it often, which is not a big deal. You know, it's like I can charge it in my car. The Blue Yeti, I charge it. And free advice from Jared. Thank you, Emilio. Yeah, you know, it's like I'll never be one of those guys that what's that consultation fee and all that. You know, I don't believe in that. I think you lose credibility once you start doing that consultation fee here in the Philippines. Edgar, good morning, Fortune. Good AM, Vaughn, Kevin, Bill, Charlie, Lowell from Fortune. There's so much concrete in Manila. The city stays hot 24 hours. Yeah, I have not been in Manila in quite some time. The last time I was in Manila was during COVID. I had to get my COVID shot at the VA clinic there. But I try to avoid Manila. You know, I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of Manila. And I was born and raised there. I went to school in Manila till I was 12 years old. I went to Letran College in Intramuros, and I lived in Quezon City, and I would ride the jeepneys there till I was 12 before we moved to the United States. So I know all about Manila. You know, it hasn't changed. I mean, it was like that before, and it's gotten worse because there's just more people live there. Back in the 70s, we had traffic back in the 70s in Manila. Now it's like exponential. I mean, it's like crazy traffic now in Manila. The pollution, everything in Manila, man. It's like it's hard. It's hard to live in Manila. Even my classmates. I have batchmates that graduated here in Calibo, but once they finish college, they go to Manila and work. Man, I get messages from them all the time, and they say, man, they all wish they can come back here to the province and work here, but there's just no work here. All the IT jobs, all the technical jobs are in Manila. Unfortunately, there's nothing like that. They don't even have a call center here in Calibo. There's nothing like that. So everybody has to go to Manila to work, unfortunately. Oh yeah, Antipolo, man, Martin. I have a friend there. He's retired Air Force also. He lives in Antipolo, loves it. Cooler temperatures too, he said. Cooler temperatures in Antipolo because it's up on the hills. Very peaceful, very quiet. He sends me video and photos at his house, and his house is just like mine. You know, it's like when I go outside, I don't hear noise. You know, I don't hear traffic. I don't hear tricycles, jeepneys, motorbikes. I don't hear none of that. You know, I'll show you right now. I'll show you right now. Now you guys can see how peaceful and quiet it is every day here in my neighborhood. It's just that's why I say when I talk about location, you just have to find you're here in the Philippines. You just gotta find, not all the Philippines is noisy, not all the Philippines is overcrowded. Not all you hear people, oh yeah, how about the roosters? How about the stray dogs? How about the karaoke every night? I mean, we don't have that here in our neighborhood. I don't see any stray dogs in my neighborhood. I do this every day. I don't have roosters in my neighborhood. We do have karaoke. We ourselves sing karaoke, but by 10 p.m. we shut it down with our karaoke because we respect our neighbors. Just like anywhere else. There's people, you just have to respect your neighbors. But looks like it's gonna be rainy day again today. Raining all day yesterday. Was raining earlier, so will not be surprised before I end the live stream here that it's gonna rain again. And that's why I said, how location is so important. So important. The place that you're gonna pick here in the Philippines will make a difference with your retirement here, with your move to the Philippines. If you pick the wrong place, you might not like the Philippines because the area you selected. But if you don't like that area, just move. Just move. You see, that's why my recommendation, and JP, he listened to me. He's travel light. JP's got a suitcase, a backpack, another hand carry, so he can move on a dime. He can move anytime. If he, after 1 month here in Calibo, he doesn't like Calibo, he can easily pick up and say, hey, I'm gonna try somewhere else. That's another advice I've given people. Don't start buying the minute you get here. Don't start buying stuff, accumulating stuff. I know that's normal in the US. In the US, you want all the things that you need. You're buying all kinds of stuff right away. Try not to accumulate things fast, or even if you had packed some balikbayan boxes in the US, hold off on having, usually people will pack it there, have somebody ship it here or something like that. Try not to do that, until you really know your place, where you're going to stay here in the Philippines, because it gets harder to move once you get a lot of stuff. If you start buying things, send a few balikbayan boxes here, when you have to move, it's going to be harder for you to move. It's a lot easier when you're traveling light. Maybe your first year, just try not to accumulate things. Try to control, like, make sure you can, like, pack up and leave with your 1 or 2 suitcase at the most. That way, if you don't like the area where you selected, you can find another spot. Good morning, Fortune from Lowell. Martin. Good AM, JP Edgar from Fortune. Martin, I have a very good friend who is in his 70s here in Sacramento, California. He is from Iloilo. All right, all right. Many people are in, I know Iloilo, man, is like one of those places now. It is really an up and coming, if not already. It's like a lot of expats are moving to Iloilo because it's just nice. Iloilo's nice. It's a good place. Like I said, if you're more a city person, perfect city to move to. Very clean, very safe. I've have close to 100 videos of Iloilo where I'm just walking. I can walk in Iloilo day, night, and not feel unsafe. I cannot say that for Cebu City or Manila. If I walk at nighttime in Manila or Cebu City, I'd be worried about getting mugged. And I'm Filipino, so I've always felt safe walking around Iloilo City, even at nighttime. Speaking of EDSA, there you go, Fortuna. Update us on EDSA, man. The 24-hour work ends on Monday, 4 a.m. Then it will just be 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. daily. Oh, okay, so that's not bad, not too bad. I mean, I thought they were just going to shut down EDSA, and that would have been crazy. That would have been crazy just to shut down EDSA. So at least somebody thought about it, that they're going to work at nighttime. It's like looks like 10 p.m. To 4. It will still create traffic because I know EDSA. I've traveled EDSA all the way to midnight. People coming from the airport. Manila is one of those cities that it's alive even at nighttime. Even at midnight, Manila is alive. It's not one of those cities like Calibo. And then in Calibo, 9 p.m. it's shut down. It's like it's dark in Calibo at 9 p.m. In Manila, 9 p.m. people are just starting to go out. People are just starting to go out at 9 p.m. The older he gets, he says the more he wishes he can just move back home. But it's what? Unfortunately, Martin, that is the common dynamic that I've seen with a lot of my Filipino friends in the United States. They're married to Filipina, Phil-Americans. They're dual citizens or that lives in the U.S. A lot of them, when they get the Social Security age in the U.S., they're retired in the U.S., a lot of them, the men wants badly to move back to the Philippines. Unfortunately, it's the women that don't want to move back here. They've gotten Americanized, they've gotten used to, and I can't blame him. You got like all the convenience in the U.S. You're living in a first world developed country compared to here is a developing country. There's a lot of struggle, man. Even for me, I saw that. I lived in the United States for over 30 years. When I came back here, when I was 45 years old, when I moved back to the Philippines, it was still an adjustment for me, but it's an adjustment I was willing to do because I didn't want to work anymore. And I knew with my military pension from the United States Air Force, I couldn't live well here in the Philippines. So my incentive for staying and coming here was not to work anymore because I didn't want to work anymore. It's like, for me, why would I keep working if I can retire early and enjoy my life earlier? It's like, it worked out for me because that's my mentality. I know not everybody's the same. I know, there's people that want to work till way in their 60s, and nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. But me, I just, I was blessed enough to have a pension at 37 years old is when I got my military pension after serving 20 years in the United States Air Force. I joined at 17. So I was going to take advantage of that sacrifice I already made. 20 years in the military was a lot of sacrifice already. So I wanted to take advantage of it, that I wanted to retire early. That was just me. That was just my choice. Hope during the holidays they did a lot. I know, right? Hopefully they accomplished a lot during the holidays, Fortune. Blue Yeti, yes. Hey, there's Gary, my good friend in Idaho, Jokano. Now I know your name now, Gary Jokano. City life isn't for me. Hoping Calibo isn't too big for my likes. Yeah, Gary and I talked about it. He likes the more rural setting. That's why he was looking at area here in Aklan, like Altavas area. But Calibo will just be a good landing spot. I think Gary just land, get settled into Aklan life, province life, and then we can. And then you want to make sure your hospital here, medical, and all that. And then once you get settled in, maybe a month or two in Calibo, start looking for more rural areas. Like maybe, Altavas, I know, even Balete where James and Karen live. That's a rural area, a lot of farming, a lot of open land in the area. Kevin Shores, some people think Philippines sucks and it's boring. I know, man. I see the comments on Facebook. Sometimes I just kind of like shake my head, but it is what it is. It's like not everybody's gonna like the Philippines. I understand that. And some people also think lots of cities are ugly and dirty, and also a third world country too. Yeah. It's like but you will in Manila. That's the thing in Manila. You're gonna really see poverty in Manila. There's a lot of beggars, a lot of homelessness, a lot of people living in the streets. And it's it just so congested. You can feel the poverty in the Philippines when you're in Manila. It's hard not to see. Here in the provinces, I don't see. I see a little bit of the poverty. You're always gonna have like homeless. You're always gonna have like people begging for money, but it's not to the extreme that is in Manila. Joe, Calibo population is 100K. Only it's a provincial. Yeah, we haven't even make it to city status, Fortune. We're still a town. They tried to make Calibo a city, but we don't meet the parameters to become a city. It's still like a municipality or the town of Calibo. We just go to Manila for better schools. Yes. That's why everybody in the Philippines, like even my batchmates here from, we graduated in 2016 at STI College Calibo. Everybody just goes to Manila to work. Better schools, better hospitals, better good paying jobs. They're there in Manila. Every holiday, people want to go to the park. I know, right? That's the common dynamic here in the Philippines. Everybody that's in Manila, you got over 15 million people living in Metro Manila. Come the holidays, December, Christmas, New Year, everybody leaves Manila to go to their different provinces. That's like it happens every year. Happens also at Holy Week. Holy Week in April. Holy Week is like everybody goes to the province again. There's just certain undas in November, like All Saints Day. Everybody like in Manila like leaves Manila to be with their family. And most of the people like here in the province, like I said, my batchmates from college, they're just like they're working in Manila to sacrifice so they can send money to people here in the province. Not an easy life, man. I've got classmates I've mentioned before. In Manila, they can afford to live in Makati area, the financial district, but that's where they work. They have to get up like at 4 a.m. They have to start traveling. It takes them 2-3 hours just to get to work. And then same happens after work, 2-3 hours just to get home from work in public transportation. That's another chaos in Manila that you don't want to experience, is riding public transportation in Manila. GP Edgar, so far I agree. I do feel a little confined without my own wheels. Yeah, once you get your motorbike, GP, I think once you get your motorbike, you're gonna start riding in a clan. You might ride all the way through Iloilo City or Roa City. It'll definitely open up for you once you start riding a motorbike. Yes, I like places less than 30K people in the US. Nice to be within 20 miles of Calibo, but prefer to live in a community. Yeah, that's easy enough. That's easy enough, Gary. We can find you a place, like I said, outside Calibo that's not gonna have that. Even here in Numancia, we don't have the people that we don't have the population that I think we're about 25,000 people here in Numancia, and then Calibo's got about 100,000. We're a lot smaller here in Numancia. That's why I like it. I like living in a smaller town. Joe, it's about the right size. It has heavy traffic in one area, but if you stay away from there, the rest of the traffic is good enough to deal with. Yeah, everything's congested by Ross Avenue because the two malls are there, the Gaisano malls, the public market is there, the fruit stands are there, McDonald's is there. So majority of your traffic is on one street. After you leave that street, you're good. Edgar, your friend's hometown in the mountains would be more my style. Oh, all right, the one in Libacao, yeah. I know James loves that area, Libacao, up in the mountain area where James and Karen's adventure. He went on that raft. He had to put his motorbike in that raft to cross the river. That area, man, that's like virgin territory still there, man. Like Libacao. Not many people live in that area, that mountain area. They're still building the roads, as you can see on James's videos. That one area where he rode his motorbike, man, that's not a road yet. That's like dirt. That's like but they're building it. They're building the roads up in the mountains now. Numancia is 40K population and just beside Calibo. Belus, good morning, bro. Good morning, bro. My good friend, my brother in Leyte. Hello, Belus. I already went through the topic, Belus. I was discussing location. Basically, selecting the right location before you land here in the Philippines. And I mentioned how I think it's a big mistake if you select Manila as your soft landing in the Philippines. Manila will sour you to the Philippines. If that's the first impression you get about the Philippines is Manila, you're going to get on the plane and head back to the US if that's the case. Good AM, Job, Belus. Morning, Master Fortune, Lowell. Fortune, Calibo is about the same size town I live in now. But Iloilo is the number one place for me according to ChatGPT. I need to make the right decision though. Oh yeah, for sure, Lowell. For you, Lowell, knowing I've known you now, we've communicated, you're correct. I think Iloilo City fits you better. That would be a good spot for you. Even though it might be big, it might be a city, it's still a good landing spot for you. For all the things that you're looking for that we've discussed, I think I would at least make Iloilo City your soft landing and then live there for a few months. If you don't like it, you can always move. But I think for a soft landing, Iloilo would be a good choice for you. Don't keep up with the Joneses. I know, right? That's one thing that's nice when you live in the provinces, Derek. When you're in Manila, when you're in the bubble that's BGC, that's, you're in a more materialistic area there. That's my opinion. It's like I don't like making generalization, but that's what I see with my eyes. When you're in that area, people wear designer clothes. Everything's about branded shoes, branded everything, you know. Here in the province, man, if you got board shorts and like any t-shirt, you're good. Flip-flops. I mean, I can go anywhere in Calibo on my flip-flops. I don't even have to wear shoes. I rarely wear shoes, actually. People that know me see me almost every time. I'm just wearing flip-flops. And that's what I love about the province. In Manila, I don't think I could be just walking around BGC all the time on flip-flops. You know, there's just places where everybody just dresses up so nice, you know, keeping up with the Joneses, expensive vehicles, you know, multi-million-dollar homes, even condominiums in the hundreds of thousands of dollars, penthouses, you know. That's just not the vibe here in the province. Here in the province, you know, mostly farmers here, mostly fishermen, you know. People are humble here. It's not, you don't see keeping up with the Joneses here. Libacao at a higher elevation and more rural. Yeah, I think so. I think so, Joe. I think that might be the place. Cooler temperatures, definitely. It'll be cooler temperatures in Libacao. The thing that I would worry if I was going to Libacao, Joe, would be if you've got medical issues that you need to be near a hospital immediately. You're pretty far out there. You're pretty far out there, and getting you to Calibo would take at least an hour and a half to 2 hours. So just keep that in mind. You know, it's like you know, unfortunately, when we're getting older, you know, access to that access to the hospital is very important to us. That's why my consideration of Numancia, you know, I'm 15-20 minutes to Asia Pacific Medical Center in Calibo. So just to keep in mind, you know, ambulances, you know, there really is no ambulances in Libacao. It would be private transportation that would have to take you to Calibo if an emergency arises. They might have like they call them here like MDRRMO. They're kind of like medics, but even their ambulance that they have in the province, like even here in Numancia, it's really not a full ambulance. It's basically like a multi-cab. You know, it's like a multi-cab in the back and they don't even have defibrillators on a lot of them. You know, so. Maybe a purchase of defibrillator, right? Might be a good investment to have your own defibrillator. But to me, you know, when we're getting older, being close to a modern, updated facility hospital, you know, you know, it's important. It's important. Howdy, hey Daniel, my brother in Jacksonville, Florida. Hello, howdy, and hey man, you're Panay Posse. Daniel's the creator of that name, man. I'm hearing it more and more, even in the comments. People are like, hey Posse, hey Panay Posse, you created that, Daniel. Joe, I felt the same way. Calibo would be a nice start. I grew up at 10K and been living 8 miles outside a town of 1,500. As long as I can get away to recharge, I will be fine. Yeah, and I think once you get your motorbike, JP, once you start traveling, you saw the drive to Caticlan, and then as I pointed to you like Antique province, you can, man, miles and miles of roads in Antique province that are like just like nothing but rice fields, mountains. You know, once you get your motorbike and start traveling Panay Island, you know, it's like you won't feel so cooped up in Calibo. JP, don't rush on getting your wheels, but I totally understand your feelings. Walking only gets you so far. Trikes, not my thing. Yeah. You know, you've only been here less than a week, JP, you know, but I do know, you know, I know when people get here, you know, it's hard to slow down. That thinking, you know, everything, that's how we lived in the US. You know, in the US, you know, I moved 7 times in the military. So I know when I moved, every time you get to a place, you want everything. You want everything settled. You know, you want You want your car, you want your housing, you want all that like fixed right away. It's like you want to get settled as quick as possible. But now you're retired. Different dynamic, JP. That you're retired. You can you know, uh, take everything slow. You can take your time. There's really no rush. JP, need wheels? Get some roller skates. Roller skates. JP's fine, man. He's walking around all over Calibo. He likes walking around. So that's a plus already that you're like that, JP. That you're like walking. You see more when you're walking than when you're riding. It's like you can notice a lot more things when you're walking around. I have always had some farm animals, and I like to garden. Typically live within 20-40 minutes from a larger place to do my shopping. Yeah, to me, Joe, from hearing that 20-40 minutes, that's more like here in Numancia, my town, or the next town, Makato, the fishing place where we go. That's about 20 to 40 minutes. Libacao is up in the mountains. It's going to take you at least an hour and a half to get to Calibo from Libacao. Just keep that in mind. I know you're Googling it. I know you're looking at the map situation. But sometimes it's deceptive here because it might just say, oh, it's only 20 miles away or 30 kilometers away. But here, 30 kilometers is not, like in the US, if it says like 20 miles, oh, you're thinking 20 miles, that's just 20 minutes. Here, 20 miles here might take an hour. Just because of the windy road, you got to go through town. It's not a direct path, In the US, everything's like super highway or expressway, an exit to the highway. Everything's so easy to get to in the US. The speed, right? You can go 65 on the highway. Man, here in the Philippines, here in Aklan province, the fastest I go on the road is 60 kph, kilometers. That's 39 miles an hour. So for me to travel 30, that's on the highway. When I get into towns, I got to go really slow because there's just tricycles, people, public market, people, there's animals crossing the street. So you got to go slow. So it takes longer here to get from point A to point B because of things that you got to watch out on the road. You got to be careful driving here. Even riding a motorbike here, you got to be super careful because dogs run out on the highway here. You could be riding all clear. All of a sudden, there's a dog that will cross, chicken, goat, carabao, you name it, man. There's like guys hauling bamboo. There's just all kinds of things that you normally don't see in the highway. But here, anything goes here. You see it still surprises me to this day, some of the things I see on the highway here. Edgar, Joe, my girlfriend is from Libacao area, but another hour away after crossing the river. See, that's the thing. See, that's the thing. It's an hour to Libacao, but she's got to cross the river, on a raft just to get to her place. So it takes time. Walking up the mountain. Yep. That's too much country. That's too much country. Edgar says that's too much country life. That's too much country. Hey Joe, I think he likes that guy. He likes the country life. But man, that might be too remote. Man, that might be too remote, Joe. Altabas might be a easier path. That at least Altabas, you're about. It's on the highway. It's on the national highway. You're about 45 minutes to Calibo. Or 50 45, depending on if the roads are flooded. If the roads are flooded. Smash the like button, Belu's. Derek, because they want to be close to their kids and grandkids. Oh yes, I understand that too. I understand that, Derek. A lot of Filipinos when they get older, they're senior citizen age, of course they want to be close to their children and get grandchildren in the US. That's why. But for me, the ones that I've seen that made the jump, for me, man, it's like as parents or grandparents, when we get older, you know, we sacrifice for our, kids or grandkids, right? There's got to be a time in your life where, man, when are you going to have your day in the sun? Your dream. When are you going to experience your dream? It's not like if you move to the Philippines in your 70s, it's not like your kids or your grandkids can't visit you here in the Philippines. That's actually a good trip for them because a lot of Filipinos that I know that moved to the United States, they have kids in the United States. A lot of them lost their Filipino culture. A lot of them never been to the Philippines. I have nieces and nephews in the United States that they don't have a clue what the Philippines is all about. They don't know their heritage, and to me, that's so unfortunate that that's happened to them. To me, if you got Filipino blood in you, man, you gotta at least make a trip to the Philippines just to see your own country. It's like Fortune, Balete, where James and Karen is a good, yeah, another good option. That's why I mentioned Fortune, because Balete is only where James and Karen, about 30 minutes away from Calibo. There's several towns outside of Calibo within 30 minutes away from Calibo. You got Numancia, you got Makato, even Tangalan, Banga, Balete, New Washington by the sea, but so there's places close enough to Calibo, but I think it's a good idea to be close to Calibo just in case of a medical emergency. You're within a short distance to a good hospital. A lot of the towns, even here in Numancia, we don't have a hospital here. We rely on going to Calibo. Even Makato. Makato's got a Makato hospital, but it's really not a hospital. It's really just, they just like stabilize you to get you to Calibo. And that would be the case also if you pick Libacao or Altabas. They don't have the hospitals that they have there, basically just to stabilize you enough to transport you to Calibo. Daniel, hello, Fortune, Edgar, JP. I think about that stuff because I worked 27 years in hospital. That's my career. I worked my whole life. My working life was in hospital, so I know the importance of being close to a good one. You don't want to be living too remote and not have any access to good doctors and good hospitals. That could ruin your retirement here. Joe, yes. Edgar, I wouldn't want to be that distance from a hospital in Calibo at my age. Yep. Need to stay on the right side of the river. Yep. Good AM, Daniel. Good AM, Daniel. JP, if you ever see me crossing a river on a bamboo raft with my motorcycle, I have lost it. You have lost it. Come get me with a net. All right, I'll mark that down, JP. If I see you in a raft crossing a river in your motorbike, JP's lost it. JP's lost it. See, now the sun's coming up. You remember earlier I was showing you it looked like it was gonna rain. It was looks like it was cloudy, but let me show you now. Now the sun is coming up, so maybe we're gonna have a nice sunny day after. Right there, looks like the sun burning through all the clouds this morning. Good to see the sun. It's been like a couple of days here where it's been raining. Always good to see the sun. A little breezy this morning too. It's cooler this morning, probably like 78 degrees if I had to estimate it. Nice and cool this morning. Usually this time of the morning, I start sweating. I start sweating in my living room area here. Even with the fan, it gets pretty hot and humid here pretty fast. Balete is 30K population. Daniel, I will have to look around and see if I can find someone to manufacture roller skates for you. I haven't really seen a lot of roller skates, man. I used to rollerblade, and I know I can still rollerblade. I got pretty good balance. I still have a skateboard. I still skateboard even to this day. Gino, 1000% concur with you. You can always make another dollar, but I will never make. Okay, another day, another day. Yeah, yeah. I just think I think from experience, from talking to people now, a lot of people that retired here that I talk to, and I talk to a lot. I have a lot of experience now. A lot of them tell me, they wish they had retired sooner. A lot of I think when you're in the U.S., we just had this mentality before. Somebody convinced us that you have to be 65 to retire, that you have to work till you're 65, right? That you're not going to have enough money in retirement if you don't work till 65. That's I don't know who put that in our brain, but I think that was the mentality in the past. But now I think that has changed. More and more, the mentality now is like retire early. Even without Social Security. Find a way, or even if you become a digital nomad, or however you want to do it. I'm noticing people are retiring now in their 50s, some even in their 40s, retiring because they're realizing, man, when you retire at 65, how much time do you have left, and then when you retire at 65, can you be doing things that you still enjoy, are you going to be physically going to be able to do things that you could do in your 40s and your 50s? And like I said, most of the people that I talk to, I hang out with a lot of retired expats here in the Philippines, and I talk to them. They all tell me, man, I should have done this many years ago. I waited too long, because they're experienced the good life now and wish that they had done it sooner, or have more of it for a longer time. JP, you are going to go native like James after you ride the bike. Hey Colonel. Good morning, Colonel. Daniel, Colonel Edgar. Morning, Colonel. Morning, Colonel. Looks like you survived the ride. Oh, okay. I figured because I was watching James' live stream yesterday, and I didn't see the Colonel there. So the Colonel went back to Iloilo. My wheels, boom, boom. All right. Good AM, Colonel. Good AM, Colonel from Lowell. Yes, Fortune, back in Iloilo. All right. Glad you made it safely back to Iloilo, Colonel. All good. Colonel, Jen is probably bored. I know. I was I was even commenting that I was like rolling, man. I was laughing so hard, Colonel. That's why I had to comment when you were interviewing Jen. That was so funny. And she's such a good sport. Jen is such a good sport, with all the teasing from the Colonel. LOL, Joe. Maybe she's sad now. Oh, I'm sure a little bit. I'm sure a little bit. I'm sure she's gonna miss the Colonel. Soul Flames. Hey, I'm excited. All right, man. Come to the Philippines, man. Philippines got a lot to offer. I got a lot to offer. People always contact me. They're thinking of going to Southeast Asia. And I always tell them, not everybody's gonna like the Philippines. Some would prefer Vietnam. Some would prefer Thailand, Cambodia. But I think the one thing that's making it easier for people to make the choice to the Philippines, I think it's the Philippine vloggers, right? Because I don't see many Vietnamese vloggers speaking in English or in Thailand. I don't know. It's like I just haven't seen them on YouTube. For us, we had the OGs, right? We had the OGs. Paul. We had Philly in the Philippines. We had guys before that's been here. It was Bud Brown. The Philippine Dream. There was people before, and now more vloggers here that we are showing you the daily life. We're live streaming, right? My good friend Castaway Drift, he's walking around Dumaguete City with his phone, taking you to the mall, the boulevard, everywhere, public market. It's like you're seeing it live. You're seeing it as it happens. I don't see many people doing that in Vietnam, in Thailand. Maybe I'm wrong, but I just haven't seen it on my YouTube. It's like there's just more vloggers here willing to share their life, and I think, well, I'm not gonna lie. To me, the main reason, the passport bros or the single guys come to the Philippines, let's face it, is the women. It's like Filipinas, right? I mean, compared to like Thai women or Vietnamese women, or the Filipino women at least can understand you. They speak English. You might there might be cultural. With Filipina, there might be tampo with the Filipina, but at least they understand English. It's an easy transition when you could talk to the person. I would think if you land in Vietnam or Cambodia or Thailand and you can speak their language, it's going to be hard to meet a single woman that way. Here it's easy to meet because like you're gonna be able to talk to them. You can go to the mall. JP can go to the mall, sit down at the food court, and if there's Filipinas there, he can say, "Hey, how are you doing?" And they'll answer back. It's easy to converse with the Filipinas here. Edgar, Daniel, we will have a special trike waiting on you. It will be extra small, so you can struggle. That's funny. That's funny, Edgar. So you're gonna pick the smallest tricycle to pick up Daniel. That way he'll struggle getting in and out. Soul Flame, be there January 9th. All right. So, okay. I remember you now, Soul Flame. You're the guy going to the Atiatihan Festival, right? I'll see you at Atiatihan, Soul Flame. I'm sure you'll see me. I'll be vlogging at the festival. Just tap me. Hey, I'm Soul Flame. I'm Soul Flame. I'll remember your name, Soul Flame. Soul Flame. Okay. I appreciate spending the holidays with James and Karen, Gino, Dazzle, saw Edgar, met JP, and made some hilarious videos with Jenilyn. Great holidays, right? I mean, and you can't ask for anything more, right, Colonel? Just having friends here, right? And then, we're all gonna be family here soon. You're part of the family here now, Colonel. So can't wait for more adventures with the Colonel, for sure. You're likely to have another 10 people, posse bros in your area, but would not surprise me. Daniel. I'm getting people contact me on my WhatsApp, asking me. I guess the videos are, the live streams, people are watching it. People are even asking me about, other bloggers here in the Philippines. And they ask me, do you know these people? And I tell them, oh yeah, I know Mike and Kat, that Philippines Light. I know James and Karen's. I know Michael, the Castaway Drip. So we're building a good community of people that just want to help you come here, be part of the family here, be part of the posse here. You had great fun there, and also great food. Joe and Fortune, she's probably relieved. Jen is probably relieved. She'll miss the teasing. She won't have anybody teasing her anymore, Colonel. Luz Beltran, out of topic. Are you familiar with Moreta Pay? Is it really widely used? Moreta Pay. I've never heard of it. I've heard of Gcash, of course. Paymaya. I've heard of Paymaya, but I've not heard of Moreta Pay. Lowell, I am pretty sure ChatGPT listens to Gino for Philippines. Oh, thank you, JV. Thank you, man. Appreciate that, JP. Edgar, I will have the issue with normal trike. LOL. With the normal trike, LOL. That's why Edgar wants to put you in a smaller trike to see you struggle. Man, Edgar's funny, man. Edgar's trying to be. He's trying to initiate all the newbies to Kalibo. Joe, I hope I can get everything wrapped up in there before end of the year, ASAP. My prayers, Joe. I hope so too, brother. I hope so. I hope you'll be part of our family here in 2026. But if not, no big deal. We'll wait for you, Joe. We'll wait for you. Just be patient. Everything happens for a reason. Everything happens in due time. That I believe in that. There's a reason. It might not be pleasant things that happen in our life, but I think there's a reason for that. It makes us stronger, and then it makes us appreciate life better. When the good starts happening to us in our life, we appreciate them. Oh, I gotta close the door now because they're mowing grass. Yeah, that's the noise that you're hearing now. Somebody is mowing like the grass around the area here. They're already working January 3. I'm surprised. I thought they were going to make the guys holiday break for the New Year's, but I guess the grass is kind of high. The empty lots here, have a tendency of the being overgrown, so that's what they're cutting this morning. The vacant lots, because of all the rain we get, man, it's like it gets like a foot growth of grass here in like a week. It seems like, grass here goes so fast because of all the rain. Emilio, Kalibo for me is one of the best places to retire. And Gino will take care of you. Oh, thank you, Emilio. Hey, I'm waiting on you, brother. Emilio's from San Diego. He visited me here in Kalibo. I was able to give him kind of like a view of Kalibo, a little bit of Makato, New Washington, So I took him around here, and then he went to Boracay. He's been to Boracay before, but I know Emilio because I spent time with him, a couple of days hanging out with him. He's seen the big picture, how life could be for him here in Kalibo. I also met Mom. She is a sweet lady. I know, right? Man, Mom is so focused when it comes to fishing. Yeah, I guess that's where Dazzle gets her focus when it comes to fishing. Both of them, Mom and Dazzle, they're intense when it comes to fishing, man. They're so serious. They're so serious about fishing, man. They're keeping track of how many fish each of them catches. Mom, if she catches a fish, she can't put it on Dazzle's bucket. It's like everybody's like, "Oh, Leanna, you're putting it in the wrong bucket." They each have their own bucket. Leanna's the one that unhooks the fish and puts the fish on a bucket. And sometimes she accidentally, I don't know if it's an accident or she does it on purpose to like upset Dazzle and Mom. She'll put it on the wrong bucket. "Hey, Leanna, you put it in the wrong bucket." But they're funny. They always make me laugh. It's that good dynamic between the three of them. Happy New Year, Gino. Baseball. All right, baseball. Happy New Year, baseball, swim. Fortune. Lowell can pick a district from the 7 of Iloilo. Mandurriao and Villa Arevalo, I think, are the farthest from downtown. Yeah. And all the good hospitals, here in, I would say in Visayas, period, I honestly feel that Iloilo City even has better hospitals than Cebu City, just because they're TRICARE preferred, TRICARE JCO compliant. Same JCO standards in the United States apply to a few of the hospitals here in Iloilo City. Like I said, for me, if I lived in Cebu City, there's no TRICARE preferred facility there, only certified. TRICARE preferred facility, all I have to do when I go to that facility, because I'm a retired United States Air Force military, I can just pay a copay and they take care of me. They do all the billing with TRICARE. So basically, I show up. If I get admitted to the hospital, I pay my 25% and I'm done. TRICARE in the U.S. pays for my 75%. And even Cebu City doesn't have a TRICARE preferred hospital. Medical City Iloilo in Iloilo City, TRICARE preferred facility. They do heart surgery in Iloilo City, transplants even. They do it in Iloilo City, man. So I'm confident of the medical care. Like I said, 27 years I worked in hospitals. And when I'm in Iloilo City, I feel like I'm in the US as far as like the hospitals there. That's where I had my 12 chemo treatments, 33 radiation treatments in Iloilo City. And I would have gotten the same care in the United States. And I know that, it's like, JP, I will probably have to get flip-flops. I keep having to walk through puddles. apparently, apparently, right? Apparently, it rains. It rains here and floods too, right? It doesn't take much rain in then Calibo streets. There's areas in Calibo where like the water ankle. If you're wearing shoes, your whole shoes is gonna be in the water in Calibo fast. Something to do with the drainage or something. I don't know, but. Great community of expats and friends in the Calibo area. I think so, Joe. I think we're building a nice community here. We're all friends, and like I said, we're becoming family. We treat each other right. We watch out for each other. We take care of each other. If anything happens, we will we'll help each other out. It's like. Funny, half of the time, people don't even wear shoes or shirt. I know, right? I get after my workers not wearing PPE while spraying. Oh, I know, Belus. I can imagine, I mean, that, Belus. I've seen people here wearing board shorts, no t-shirt, nothing, welding. I'm like, no glasses, no protective anything. They're welding with like shorts. You can see like the flat, like when you're welding, that thing like sparks. You see them hitting their skin, and I'm going like, doesn't that burn? Doesn't burn. Yeah, that's unfortunate, right? Bullies, they're not into PPE, protective gear here. It's like in the province anyway. They're not. Yesterday, you needed rubber boots, so much rain. I know, Edgar. I mentioned earlier when after I picked up my friends to take them. Chris is there on the first floor. I think room 26. Chris is staying at room 26. From the airport to Calibo, man, it was flooded in a lot of areas, like from Nabas, Ibahay had some flooded areas, Tangal. Man, I was happy to get him to Calibo and for me to get home, because like I was like, man, with all the rain we got yesterday, man, there was areas very sketchy with the flood, man, like almost some water, almost to your knee, man. Lowell, brother, the only thing is Iloilo doesn't have you. All right, hey man, I'll go there enough. Man, I'll go to Iloilo. You are truly why I even considered Calibo over Iloilo. I think you might be right. Yeah, it is, man. Even though Asia Pacific is a good hospital here in Calibo, all the specialties and all that is still in Iloilo City. But they're getting more. I've noticed they're doing more and more surgeries here in Asia Pacific. I'm keeping an eye on their I'm on their website all the time. They're always announcing like new procedures that they're able to do at Asia Pacific Medical Center. 59 days in a wake up. All right, Daniel. 59 days in a wake up. Currently in good health. Lost some weight over the past year and not on any meds. Oh, awesome, Joe. Awesome to hear that. Awesome there. All right, man. You're great candidate, man. Great candidate to be here, man. You're that's awesome. Good to hear. Just a patient transport vehicle. Yeah, that's most of it here, Fortune. Like a lot of the outside. Calibo is the only one that has legit ambulance. Like Asia Pacific Medical Center, I know St. Gabriel has. They have an actual ambulance, United States standard, defibrillators, everything, and crash cart, everything on their ambulance. Same ambulance in the U.S. But the minute you go outside Calibo, like even here in Numancia, Tangala, Makato, It's basically a multi-cab. A multi-cab. They're basically just transporting you, hoping to get you to Calibo. But they have, they have a medics in there. They have usually two medics to assist you. Yay, Daniel! All right, Colonel. Yay, Daniel. I haven't lived in a city the size of Iloilo since 1998. I was quite comfortable though. I just have lived in size of Calibo for 30 years. Bored at times, but still comfortable. Yeah, that's one thing in Iloilo. You won't be bored there, man. Like I know you mentioned to me, you like the rock and roll bands, 70s, 80s type rock and roll bands. They got that. They got that in Iloilo. That's not. It's a city. They got everything there. Gino, do you have any recommendations for a barber? Oh yeah. My barber is you went yesterday to Gaisano Capital, right? The Gaisano Capital, where I dropped you and Chris on the second floor. There, Gems. It's Jems. My barber's Jason. Jason's my barber. Tell him, Gino sent me. and if Jason's not there, all the other barbers there know me too. And when Jason's not there, any of the barbers are good. I always just show up there and ask, hey, Jason here? Jason's not there? Okay, anybody can cut my hair. It's like, I get my cut like every 2 weeks. I had my cut in Rojas City, so I think next week is when I get my high and tight again. High and tight. I think I get another week before I get another haircut. I agree, Gino. Slow down, relax a while, JP. Yeah, I can't blame JP, Colonel. JP's like go. Like every single day, he's like checking out the motorbikes, checking out. But I understand, the excitement, and there's nothing wrong with that, JP. It's like do your thing. Just don't overdo it. Make sure you're getting back to your normal sleeping routine. I just know JP's so excited. It's like. Just have it off. No shit. Purchase needed. Just have it off. Edgar, I say Calibo would not be for people that like going to nightclub. Oh no, definitely right, Edgar. There are no nightclubs here in Calibo. Friends, there are bars, but it's not like the big nightclubs like in Iloilo City where they have a live band. Once in a while, a lot of like Hayahay restaurant at the Pook at the Esplanade, they have a band that plays there, but it's not, like I said before, Calibo at 9 p.m., like even on a Friday or Saturday night, it dies. I mean, if I go to Calibo tonight, it's Saturday today, if I go there at 9 p.m., it's dark. It's like nothing going on in Calibo. You need to go to like Dumaguete City for that, and Angeles City if you like the nightlife. JP, Colonel, I am thinking about shaving it off, but would hate to leave a stripe and it not be down the middle. I don't think that is foggy. Hey, there he is, Castaway Drift. Hey man, I was mentioning you earlier in the live stream how you do all the live streams walking around Dumaguete City, man. You're like, I saw that comment from that one guy, Michael. He goes like, oh, you just saved me $1,400 on a plane ticket because he doesn't have to go to Dumaguete. Michael was just showing him everything in Dumaguete. That made me smile. Good morning, my brother from another. Castaway Drift, man. If you want to see a live stream of Dumaguete City daily, Michael goes on daily walks and he's showing everything in Dumaguete City from the boulevard. Yesterday he was at Robinson's Mall to the public market, fresh seafood. I mean, he's showing you everything. He's just walking in Dumaguete City, showing you everything that's available in Dumaguete City. Castaway Drift is his channel. Great person too. He's my brother from another. Joe, yes, I know what you mean by deceptive amount of time to travel. I have been on roads in the US that were more like cattle trails than roads. I know that exactly that's the way it is here, Joe. It's deceptive when you Google map it and it'll say, oh, 30 kilometers. That's nothing. I could be there in 30 minutes or 45 minutes. And it takes you an hour and a half to get there, because there's areas where like kind of sketchy, the road, dirt road, very deceptive on the distance here when you're traveling. 15 miles per hour. Yep. When you like enter towns, like when you're entering the town of Numancia by the public market area, by the poblacion area, you gotta go really slow because like me, I go really slow because you never know. There could be kids running in the road, on the highway. There could be like animals, dogs, you don't want to hit any dogs. So I always go, like you said, 15 miles, super slow. Altabas, you just need to be careful of not falling into one of the big pot. Oh man, speaking of the pothole, Joe, on my last trip to Rojas City with Dazzle, usually when I go to Altabas, the road takes you to like the public market area, and that road is fine. But during our trip, they closed it because I guess they were having an event at the plaza, so you couldn't go. So they made me go through like the diversion road. Man, that is the worst road I've ever ridden in my life. Man, it felt like I was riding in the moon, man. The craters on that, the road was uneven, big craters. I was like, how can I drive in this thing, man? I was just like, man, taking my time. Dazzle and I in our tiny car, we're going four-wheeling on our tiny car. I was like, man, it's been like that diversion road. It's been like that forever. It's like, I don't know why they don't spend the money to fix it. Gino, morning show rule. You are a legend, bro. Oh, thank you, brother. You're a good soul. My channel really big boost from kindness. Wow, 800! Congratulations, Belus. Belus, man, check out his channel. If you like it, he's gonna start doing like long form videos, but he does live streams. He's gonna show you. He's got he got his Starlink mobile, so he can go to his farming life. Harvesting coconuts, harvesting rice, all kinds of like really rural life, like jungle life even in Leyte, if that's what you're interested of watching. And his live streams are cool, man, because Belus, from a lot of people that I met in YouTube, Belus, you're very interesting, man. Your life is just amazing. I'm amazed when I talk to you. Belus used to work in the mines, and he's a demolition expert. So need I say more? That guy worked with dynamites. And so need I say more? Belus is like super cool. Great singer. He's a cowboy. I mean, come on now. It's like, I can honestly say you're like one of the coolest persons I've met in my life. There's no comparison, Belus. Like, you're awesome, brother. JP, Colonel's laughing. Trikes are everywhere, and they go as fast as turtle and stop without. Oh, I know, right? Right. There in Calibo, you day, night, midnight, it doesn't matter. You're gonna find a tricycle. There's always a tricycle available. Lots and lots of tricycles. Like there are streets in Calibo where they park the tricycle. I don't know if it's like the parking area for them. It could be like 100 tricycles side by side, and I don't know. They're just chilling. I guess maybe they're on their lunch break or something. They almost occupy the roads and you see on my videos that's why I kind of want to start walking. Hopefully Dazzle's phone will work. I'll start walking in Calibo, and you'll see the amount of tricycles. There's more tricycles in Calibo than cars, hands down. I think there's more tricycles than motorbikes, the regular motorbikes even in Calibo. Just so many tricycles. That's I think that's the number one earner for most people. That's how they make a living in Calibo, is riding a tricycle. We love the Philippines. I know, right, Balus? We love the Philippines. Good morning, Michael from Castaway, the Colonel, Sergeant. So many. More coffee, please. More coffee, please. Yes, until I am boots on the ground, I won't appreciate the full situation. For sure, Joe. But I think you will have a great life here. You know, it's like me and Joe have gotten really close. We chat each other for almost every day, and I've gotten to know Joe. He's gonna have a good. You're gonna have a good life here, man. To me, you're the perfect soul. You're a good soul. You're like a good heart, man. You're gonna find a good Filipina here. You know, to me, if you're a good person and you have a good heart, you're gonna find a good Filipina here. The people that you see that get scammed or things go sideways for them is they don't have a good heart. You know, they don't treat the Filipinos right here. So what is that saying? You get what you get what you deserve sometimes, right? If you're a good person and a good soul, you're gonna meet a nice Filipina here. Good morning, Belus from Castaway Drift. Emilio, Makato is next to just joking. Next to our town, Numancia, Makato, the fish farm where I took you, Emilio. That's Makato. Michael C. Hey, Michael C. My brother in Trece Martires in Cavite. Good morning, bro. Super cool here. Oh man, it actually was nice and chilly earlier. Not chilly, but cooler than normal. I think it was like 78. But now the sun is coming up. Now it's gonna be warm. It picks up fast here. It gets humid too because it rained last night. So I'm expecting probably by noontime here it'll be in the 90s for sure. Loving it. All right, good to hear. Good to hear, Michael. Edgar, Joe, the biggest problem getting away from places like Calibo is the locals outside the bigger towns get what called nosebleed. All right. Let me explain what Edgar is saying on the nosebleed. In Calibo, if you're speaking English, more people will understand you. The farther you go away from Calibo, they get nosebleed because they have a hard time understanding your English. Because a lot of the farmers, if you can imagine, the minute you start moving away from Calibo, it's basically farm towns, basically rice fields. And a lot of the farmers, they're up in the age, mostly in their 50s, 60s are the farmers here. I don't see many young people doing farming. It's still the guys in their 50s and 60s in the rice fields here. A lot of them didn't really even graduate high school. So if you can imagine, their English is limited. So the farther you're away from Calibo, you have to, like, I always tell Edgar this, just talk slower. You can't speak the same speed, the same English that you in Calibo. If you talk to the vendors in Calibo, Jollibee, the public market, the fruit stands, they'll understand you. But you just have to talk slower in order for them to understand your English. They say nosebleed because I guess they say they're gonna get a nosebleed with all the English you're throwing at them. But I haven't seen anybody get a nosebleed. It's like a saying, I guess, like a saying. Good AM, Michael S. from Fortune. Joe, I would want to live close to Calibo for the first 6. To me, that would be my recommendation to Joe. Soft landing in Calibo. Get your banking situation right there. Banking, your ACR card, all that. Get that taken care of in Calibo. Because if you select Libaca or Altabas, you still have to go to Calibo to get your banking ACR. They do have banks there, but not as much as Calibo. And then the Bureau of Immigration is in Calibo. The hospitals are in Calibo. So if you want to get, I always tell people when they land here, it's a good idea to get like if you don't get a health check before you left the U.S., a physical, get it done when you first get here, just to get a baseline. Get your lab work done. Lab work here will cost you less than $3,000, about $50. Complete blood work, cholesterol, creatinine and everything. Get your blood. That way you have a baseline when you landed here. You have a baseline of your lab work at least. That way, if 6 months down the road you get sick, there's a record of your here. They can compare. The first thing they do here when you get sick is they order lab work. So at least when you landed here, you have a baseline of your numbers as far as your lab work. And for $50, for at Asia Pacific Medical Center, man, that's pretty cheap. That's pretty cheap, man. We got rain yesterday, so roads still wet now. Here is starting to dry up. The sun is up now, so it doesn't take long here. It'll dry up. Good morning, Master Fortune for Michael S. So Flame, I'm planning on becoming a digital nomad. All right, cool, man. There's I know a couple of people that do that. My good friend Ivan, he's a digital nomad in Iloilo. Many people choose Iloilo because the internet, the power, electricity. Dumaguete City is also popular with digital nomads here in Visayas region. And Cebu City, of course, because it's a city. But as a digital nomad, you can pretty much do that anywhere in the Philippines now with Starlink. You can get Starlink and be a digital nomad anywhere, man. Things like driver's license, etc. By then, I might be involved with someone and be looking to setting down close to her family. For sure, Joe. That's a good idea, Joe. Easier to process in a smaller provincial capital like Calibo, which is a town. Yeah, it's easier. Yeah. To me, if you're gonna pick Aklan province, just the soft landing, since all your tourist visa, your banking, your driver's license, all that has to be in Calibo anyway. So if you live in Calibo, it's just a lot easier to get that done. Once you get all that, then you can move to where you prefer. Easy enough here because most of your rentals here you can go month to month. I always tell people I've never signed a lease here in Aklan province. Don't sign a 6-month, 1-year lease. That's a mistake here, I think. Month to month. That way you can just give your 30-day notice and you're out the door. Once you're ready to move. In college to college, not necessary for everyone. A good trade school. America needs technician. Yeah, and one thing about the Philippines, man, a lot of people here that I noticed, the locals especially, that the trade is handed down. It's really, there is TESDA now. TESDA is kind of like vocational school, but a lot of the people here, they just learn it from their father. It's passed down. Usually dad is a construction worker, son becomes a construction worker. Dad's a plumber, son becomes a plumber. He learns on the job, like a apprentice on the job while their dad is working. That's how usually it's passed down here. I don't really know if there's a school vocation. I'm sure there's vocational school in Calibo, but TESDA is becoming really popular. Government funded. TESDA is government funded for like trade school here. Here in our province of Aklan, one of the number one two things that are very popular here because of Boracay Island, because of the hotel. They do TESDA for hotel, like things that you would do at a hotel, like making beds in a hotel, like a hotel aid. And then now I'm seeing barista because becoming very popular in the Philippines. All these cafes, all these coffee shops, you need baristas, and TESDA, there's a TESDA government program to become a barista. Morning, JP from Michael C. Colonel Fortune. Everyone, happy Saturday. All right. It just occurred to me that the Colonel may be wanting me to shave my head. Is to get the pressure off him from Jen. Okay. So that's funny. The Colonel's laugh out loud. Joke. JP, I don't think you could replace the Colonel with... I know, right? I don't think... I want a yellow Dazzle TV t-shirt with QR code on it. All right, JB. Oh man, JB, man, I keep remember I got you the gift, the mug. It's in my car. I forgot to give it to you again. You left it when I picked you up. I had it in the car, but now next time I see you, it's in my car in the glove box of my car. Dazzle made a special cup for you, a JP cup. Not like mine. It's specifically for you. The cup is specifically for you, JP. I put it in my glove box. We'll see each other anyway this coming week, I'm sure. Guri said hi. Soul Flame, I heard Iloilo has pretty good internet. Yes. Many selection. You know, anytime you're in the city here, you're gonna have a good internet in the city here. The Colonel, Joe, good AM, Gino and all. Ted from Bohol, hey Ted and LV. Michael, hey, Michael Manalastas, my good friend in Northern California. Good morning, brother. Good morning, Michael C. Daniel, I watched endless vloggers for several years, but it was you and your vlogs that show me the light. Thank you, Daniel. And it helped me pull the trigger. Amen. I'm just glad I'm part of your journey, man. I'm happy that I'm part of your journey moving here to the Philippines, Daniel. Good morning, hey James and Karen's adventure, my good friend James. Good morning, everyone. Pinay, hey Pinay Heart at home, all right. From Oceanside, California. Hello, Gino, good morning and Happy New Year. Happy New Year, everyone. That was hilarious about the fish not being allowed in the wrong bucket. I know, man. You saw Leanna, right, Colonel? Leanna's the one like unhooking, like when they catch a fish, they'll like guide it to Leanna and Leanna would get the fish. And there's two buckets and Leanna's like, Leanna's just throwing it in any of the bucket. And Dazzle's like, you put it in the wrong bucket. That's not, it's like, that's how intense a mom and Dazzle get when it comes to fishing because they're keeping count of how many, who catches the most fish. Colonel, from my experience, you need to order the thick crust pizza at Shakey's if you want the American style pizza. The regular crust is paper thin, just FYI. Okay, you know what, Ted? I always order the thin crust because I like it crunchy. Of course, when you take it out, it's not crunchy. If you have to eat it there, I've never tried the thicker crust at Shakey's. I will try it next time. Because I do like the American style, pizza, the thicker crust. I'll try it next time, Ted. Good morning, Sir Gino, Aaron. Thank you. Yeah, Ted, I didn't order the thin crust. Soul Flame, Iloilo is looking like it is a good spot for you, man. If you're looking for a city, I always tell people, man, Iloilo City is the best city here in the Philippines. Just the right size, great people, like the nicest people you'll meet here in the Philippines are the Ilonggos. Joe, I have been watching Gino since before his cancer treatment. Other bloggers as well, but most of those went for content, for views, and I no longer watch for. Thank you, Joe, for all this time and all the support. I appreciate it. Plus, I prefer SNR pizza. Shakey's is only for when there is not. Yeah, Colonel actually called me the other day when they were looking for pizza, and unfortunately, we really don't have a good pizza in Calibo either. The only Shakey's is it. It's like I have not found like a really good pizza. Like the Colonel saying, it's not bad. That's all we got. That's all we got. We don't have a good pizza, unfortunately, in Calibo. Now in Boracay, they got good pizza. If you go to Boracay, Aria, right beside Epic, the margarita pizza at Aria, man, that is like a legit pizza. You're gonna love that. And there's several places in Boracay that's got good pizza. But in Calibo, unfortunately, I haven't had a really good pizza. They're okay. Shakey's is okay. I'll eat it if I'm craving for pizza, and if Dazzle and Leanna wants pizza, we'll go to Shakey's. Rep Fred, hey, God bless, bro. Hi, James and Karen's Adventures from Rep Fred. SB said hi. All right, Edgar. Daniel, I agree with you, but I would say most of bloggers in Panay Island are more about helping and just showing life here in the Philippines. Got my first pair of Crocs. All right, to be prepared. I've never had a pair of Crocs. Well, when I worked at the hospital, we don't, that was like work shoes for us in the hospital. But I've never bought like Crocs to wear outside, outside of a. I just wear flip flops. I like the Islander brand of flip flops. The regular crust is thin crust. You have to order thick crust. I only ate there a few times in the 3 years I've been here, but learn you need to order the thick crust from. Yes. I'll have to try it. I've always just ordered the thin crust, Ted, because growing up in the Philippines, we had Shakey's back in the 70s at Ali Mall in Cubao. I think one of my birthdays was at the Shakey's in Cubao. So, and we ordered, my family always ordered the thin crust. So I grew up on the thin crust at Shakey's. I agree about Jen. I agree about Jen, JP. So I agree about Jen. Fortune. Good AM, Ted, LD, PHH. Fortune. Good AM, James and Karen. Edgar, I get fish for breakfast. You know you're in the Philippines when you have fish and rice for breakfast. Hey, Edgar, you're becoming Filipino. You're eating fish and rice for breakfast. You're becoming Filipino, Edgar. Good AM, Fortune. Pinay Heart, good morning, Fortune. I lost tons of weight. All my storage units. I know, that's good to hear. Good to hear, Daniel. Shakey's default is thin crust. Yes, yeah, that's their default. If you don't say thick, they'll give you thin crust if that's the preference. You see, Fortune, in the U.S., we don't have a lot of thin crust pizza in the U.S. Most in the U.S. is either thick or even deep dish. Like the deep dish about this thick of pizza. So thin crust is very foreign for many people coming from the U.S. Joe, when I was in Korea, they said that you have to acclimate it when you find yourself eating kimchi for breakfast. Yes, same thing, right? I can eat kimchi for breakfast. I've done that. I've eaten, because I lived in Korea for a year. So, there got to be a point where every single meal I ate, I have kimchi. I got kimchi in the fridge now. I always have kimchi because of my time in Korea. I fell in love with kimchi. Oh, I'll show you my favorite kimchi brand. They sell this kimchi brand at Save More, SM Market, SM Cherry in Calibo. It's called Premium Kimchi. Premium Kimchi says here Napa cabbage. This is the best I've found. I've tried different kimchi here in the Philippines. This is my go-to now. It's like I stick to this brand. Almost the same kimchi I used to eat in Korea. That's why I've never run out of it. I put kimchi on scrambled eggs for morning. It's like I love kimchi so much. Hi, Gino. It's still possible to become shareholder in the Asia Pacific. I'm not sure. I would think so. I do know that's how Asia Pacific, that's how they got built. They needed shareholders. You get a discount on your treatment if you're a shareholder. One of my friends, Janelle and Sam, they're an investor, they're a shareholder. You would, if I go there one day, for my checkups, I'll ask their business office. Joseph from Hamburg. All right. But I do know at one time they did, that was very popular here. People were buying shares into Asia Pacific Medical Center. Hey, Jason Potter. Thank you for joining the live stream, Jason. Appreciate you, my brother. Soul Flame, I bought a bunch of candles for the kids in my girlfriend's neighborhoods. Candle. Oh, candies. I thought it was candle. Oh, candle. Oh, that's good, man. Candies and chocolates for kids here. Anything imported, anything that you bring from your country, they're gonna love that. That's a good gift for people. Even your girlfriend's family members. If you're thinking, oh, what gift should I give their parents or siblings? Chocolate. Always bring like chocolates. That's easy enough. You get a bunch of chocolates. You just hand a few. Joe, Asia Pacific sells shares whenever they are expanding or needing capital. Only Filipino citizens can buy shares. Oh, thank you, Joe. I'm glad you mentioned that because Sam and Janelle they're Filipinos here. I didn't know that it's only for Filipino citizens. Appreciate the kind words, my brother. From another, all right, man. Me and walking go. I know, brother. You're like the walking Dumaguete vlogger, man. It's like nobody else is doing it, man. You got something going good, brother. You got it, man. Dazzle actually told me yesterday, babe, you should walk Kalibo so you can show people Kalibo. My phone doesn't work, unfortunately. Data's not really good, but it's an iPhone 10. But Dazzle said her phone might work. So one of these days I'll try it just to show people what I can walk in Kalibo, just to show them like the same thing you're showing, Michael, like the public market, the mall, the fruit stands, things that I know are of interest to people. Or I should say, foot in foot, LOL. The Colonel, yeah, Gino, that road is crazy. Need my knobby tires every time. I know, man, that diversion road in Altabas, man. That's like, for me, imagine me, Colonel, in my car. I was like, where am I gonna go? It's like this road is like, we were like on this side, we were on the other side. I mean, I was like dodging like gigantic craters. It's not even potholes anymore. It was like craters, man. Belus, my brother from another. JP, good morning, JNK. Ref Red, hi, the Colonel's Chronicles. Edgar, JP, you're not in room 28, are you? I saw a beautiful Filipina. Come on. No. JP's on the third floor. No, not 28. Not 28, Edgar. Joe, their brain cells start exploding when they have to focus on speaking and understand. I experience, yeah, because and that's why I'd say, Joe, I always tell people slow. If you're Americans, we talk fast when we're speaking in English. We talk fast, so I always tell people when you're talking to a Filipino, slow down. And it's not they're not offended by that. Because you're trying to understand each other. If you're looking for something specific and it feels hard to explain, it's okay to show a photo on your phone. Oh yeah, nice. Good tip. A good tip there, Pinay Heart. Good tip. In that way, they won't need to call 5 other people just to figure out. I know, right? That's always that's the go-to for Filipinos, the locals. Like if you're in the rural areas, if you're talking to them, they don't understand you. Next thing you know, there's like 4 or 5 people trying to figure out what you're trying to ask them. Well, you've seen it at James and Karen's adventures on their videos, where at least Karen, speaks the local dialect. But if it's James just asking them, man, it could be a challenge. Like areas like Libacao, you need Karen there, right, James? You need Karen there to talk to the locals. Yes, Pinay, patience, speaking clearly and using more simple words. Oh, definitely more simple words. Don't be using like vocabulary that like even I haven't. Don't be basic English. Yeah, it's already intimidating for them. Like even in Kalibo, you'll see it. Like at Jollibee or even like at McDonald's, the fast food, when a foreigner gets up to the counter, and it's usually a young lady at the counter. Usually, they don't last very long at the fast food places here. A lot of times they work there maybe a year because they get stressed, I think. So when a foreigner gets there, to ask to do their order, they're nervous anyway. You can tell they're nervous because the foreigners are like, I want my cheeseburger, hold the mayo, I don't like onions, and they're like, most Filipinos when they order a burger, they're like, I want a cheeseburger, that's it. Americans, hold the lettuce, I don't want pickles, and as a person on the counter, they're like, man, it's like they're trying to decipher that. Inay, back in 2006, I was working at Don Bosco, Makati. All right. They have a vocational school there, and TESDA was certified as far as I remember until I left. Until TESDA. Yep, TESDA. Yeah, they here in the province, very popular. TESDA is very popular here. A lot of vocational because province. The province, they realize not everybody can afford college here. 4 years of college, even here in the province, for some of the farmers, some of the fishermen here. Even if it's like a 5,000 peso, less than $100 tuition a semester at Aklan State University, some of them can't afford that, and unfortunately, and then the boarding house. If you're living in Calibo for their kid, that's why TESDA is an option because TESDA actually the government pays for the vocational, and TESDA also gives the student an allowance. Not much of an allowance, but at least, right, their TESDA is paying you for like transportation and your food. TESDA is a great government program. Renz, good AM to all. Pinay Heart, Jew. We experienced Japanese avoided us if we cannot speak the language. But in the Philippines, they will engage conversation with you, even if it might take a while. I know, right? Because Filipinos, there's a certain pride with Filipinos. Like when a foreigner approaches them, they want to like be able to speak in English. There's a certain pride for Filipinos. They want to show you that they understand. I am in room 20. She came to my door and I sent her away. LOL. You sent her away. You sent her away, JP. That's funny. I don't believe that, JP. I'm looking from a distance, but the Filipina in white is smoking hot. It's smoking hot. It's smoking hot. You guys are funny, man. You guys are, you guys are gonna have a reputation there at La Casa Española. Derek, I bet Karen pizza. Oh yeah, I seen Karen making pizza again last night. I saw she was cooking the sauce, and then I remember Jane. Karen put a little bit of sugar, and James go, no, don't put sugar, don't put sugar. It's like, but James, unfortunately, this, James, Filipinos, they love to cook with sugar. It doesn't have, spaghetti sauce. Why, or pizza sauce? Why would you put sugar? But they do that. They do that, unfortunately, here. I prefer Crocs than flip-flops. Oh, all right. I've never had them like to wear outside. I wore them in the hospital, working in the hospital. But I've never had Crocs to where I wore it outside. Dazzle wears them. She's got a pair of Crocs here somewhere. Her little Crocs here. Might be upstairs. She got those little things that you put on. One of them even lights up. It's like a little camera. They're cute. Alan, hey, howdy. My good friend in Texas. Howdy, Alan. Happy New Year, everyone. I'm gonna try to zip through the comments here. That way I can end the live stream. I tried to go through the comments. Hello, Gino. My mom and I happened to be at Ali Mall. All right. Hey, I didn't get to see Muhammad Ali, but that was in the 70s. That was one of the very first malls in Manila, in Cubao area. That's what we would go to Ali Mall, and there was a Shakey's there at Ali Mall. My mom had to carry me over her shoulders, and we were just outside. Oh man, that would have been cool. I never got to see Muhammad Ali live. That would have been. I was a big Ali fan too back then. Even now, even though he's gone, still a memory of Ali. Sir, good morning, Gino. Jamvi. Hey, Jamvi. Went to Pastrana Park yesterday for the first time. during a downpour. During a downpour, man. Oops, somebody's yelling. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Sandali lang po, tapusin ko lang yung live stream ko. My construction guy, I got it. He's gonna. He had installed our new AC upstairs, but he's gonna cement, kind of smooth it out and put a frame on it. So, Lelong, my construction, my do-it-yourself construction guy is here. So, I'm gonna try to zip through the comments here. Google Translate. All right, Anu, what room? 28. A la casa. All right, Jambi. Good morning, Edgar. I was in New Washington and water was everywhere. Yeah, flooded, right? Flooded, Edgar. The Colonel, I didn't get a Karen pizza this visit. They made me do the cook. I know, right? Colonel did all the cooking while he was at James and Karen's house. Daniel, Edgar, I am on the same side as you. You can't see my door. On purpose? On purpose? You can, Edgar, you can't see, JP didn't want Edgar spying on him. John B, all right. Joe, Colonel Karen felt it was Jen's job to cook for you, You saw the old Amici de Don Bosco back then. Good morning, John V. Fortune. Good AM, Benny. Good AM. Don't worry, JP. Now that I know, I will ask Nathan to set up the camera so I can let all know you are chick boy. If you watch Kuya Kurt's vlog, he explains some American and Tagalog words that he used when communicating. Oh, okay. I've seen a few of his vlogs, Kuya Kurt. Happy New Year. Hey, Bernie, my good friend in Canada. Hello. Happy New Year, Bernie. Good to see you. Good to see you on the live stream, Bernie. Can you get Italian pasta in PH at SNR? Oh, yes. I get it all the time. There's a lot of Italian pasta, Italian sauces, plenty of choices at SNR. I like the pasta bolognese. They even stuff, they got same sauces, ragu, prego, all that at SNR. The things that you're familiar, the sauces. Fortune, old Amici. I heard good things about the restaurant. I didn't get to visit though. Daniel, I will take you to the local place that has that. Oh yeah, Edgar found the place by Asia Pacific Medical. Estefanos got like legitimate Italian sauces and everything, because I think the guy's Italian. The owner's a foreigner. Cheeses and everything. So Edgar's got the hookup. The Thrilla in Manila. I know, Derek. I remember the Thrilla in Manila. All right, I got to the bottom. Thank you so much. My guys here, Lelong's here to finish up our AC unit here. So thank you very much. For joining the live stream this morning. I appreciate everybody's time. Happy New Year again to everyone. Everyone take care and everyone stay blessed.